Do you feel like you are losing strength as the years go by? Do you have difficulty opening a jar, climbing stairs, or getting out of bed with energy? Well, I'm going to tell you something that maybe no one has had the courage to tell you until now. This is not normal, and it has nothing to do with age. What you are experiencing may have a name, a cause, and, best of all, a solution. Today, you will discover the biggest mistake that seniors make when trying to recover muscle mass, and the secret that many doctors don't teach. There is a vegetable capable of surpassing even the egg in protein, and you might have it in your fridge right now. I'm not here to sell supplements or miracle diets. I'm here to show you how to regain your strength and independence with simple and effective actions. So, before we begin, leave a comment below, letting us know what city or country you are watching us from. I'd love to know how far this message is reaching. And of course, subscribe to the channel right now and turn on the notification bell. Because every week, I bring content that can transform your health and longevity. You deserve to age with vitality, and today's video can be the first step. Let's get straight to the point. Because what you are about to learn here can be the watershed moment between continuing to lose autonomy, or turning the game around and showing your body that it is still capable of so much, even after 60. Many people believe that aging is synonymous with fragility, as if the body were a clock that keeps losing its spring until it stops. But the truth is that, with the right knowledge, it is possible to preserve strength and vitality for decades. Science today calls this loss of muscle mass sarcopenia, and it is not a sentence. It is a sign that your body is asking for attention. The secret to longevity is not in stopping time, but in learning to converse with it. Throughout my life as a doctor and health researcher for the elderly, I have seen people who believed they were condemned to depend on others go back to climbing stairs, dancing, and even driving again. It all starts with small changes in life habits, the ones that seem too simple to make a difference, but that transform destiny. Inactivity is the most silent of poisons, an old colleague from the geriatric clinic used to say. And he was right. Sedentary behavior steals more strength than time itself. Healthy aging is not a miracle. It is a choice repeated every day. When the body ages, it doesn't give up. It just adapts. If we give it movement, nutrition, and rest, it responds with vigor. Recent studies show that even people over 80 can regain up to 30% of lost muscle mass with the right stimulus. This means it is never too late to rebuild what time tried to take away. The resilience of the human body is greater than most people imagine. That's why, when someone tells me, "Doctor, I'm weak because I'm old," I usually answer with a smile. It's not the age, it's the disuse. Aging is not the problem. The way we age defines our disease prevention, our quality of life, and our well-being. Understanding this is the first step. And when the patient discovers this truth, they open up to what comes next, reviewing what they are really putting on their plate every day. For decades, we were taught that the egg was the king of proteins. Who hasn't heard a doctor or nutritionist say, "Eat 2 eggs a day and you'll be strong as a bull"? But the truth that few know is that, for those over 60, excessive eggs can be a silent risk factor. What seemed like a solution in many cases becomes an obstacle. A single large egg contains about 186 milligrams of cholesterol, more than half the recommended daily limit for an adult. This, added to advancing age, slower circulation, and the accumulation of fat in the arteries, can be a recipe for cardiovascular diseases. And how does longevity fare with an overburdened heart? It gets shorter, unfortunately. That's why we need to rethink our morning protein. Health in old age requires smarter choices, and that includes reducing eggs without giving up protein. Substituting part of animal consumption with plant sources can improve vascular function and reduce inflammation, points out a review published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition. What few know is that it is totally possible to nourish muscles with lighter, more effective, and heart-friendly alternatives. And here's the key point. Protein, yes, but with balance. It's not about demonizing the egg. but about understanding that it is not irreplaceable. There are life habits that prioritize muscle without harming the cardiovascular system. A senior who learns this not only gains strength, but also gains freedom. And it is precisely in this discovery that we begin to look at food with new eyes, including that little green one that many people ignore. It is natural to want to regain strength quickly when you reach old age. Many end up resorting to colorful jars with promises of instant muscles, but few know what they are really ingesting. Most of these supplements are packed with additives, hidden sugars, and compounds that the aging body does not absorb well. The metabolism of a senior is not the same as that of a 30-year-old. Our digestive system becomes more selective over time, and that changes everything. I have seen patients who drank very expensive shakes and still said, "Doctor, I'm still weak. Why?" The answer was right there. The body does not take advantage of what it does not recognize as natural. A study from the Harvard Medical School showed that, in adults over 65, only 40% of synthetic proteins are effectively assimilated. This means that much of the money spent goes away, literally down the drain. Furthermore, the overload of additives can cause inflammation, fluid retention, and even harm kidney health, precisely the opposite of the search for longevity. Disease prevention is not achieved by forcing industrialized formulas down your throat. Instead, we need to teach the body to regenerate with what it recognizes: real, simple, living foods. This is the true root of healthy aging. And at this point, we begin to see the forgotten power of greens, the ones we used to leave aside on our plate. While many surrender to grilled chicken or the famous morning egg, there is a silent heroine waiting in the refrigerator drawer: spinach. Few know that it offers the 9 essential amino acids, the same ones we seek in meat. And what's more, it delivers all of this without cholesterol, with fiber, iron, and antioxidants as a bonus. When properly prepared, this green leaf becomes a natural balm of magnesium, potassium, iron, and vitamin K, everything the muscles need to contract and relax safely. I remember a patient who told me, "Doctor, to me, spinach was just a garnish on a barbecue plate." Today, he doesn't have lunch without it. The secret is precisely in stopping to underestimate what is simple. According to the Journal of Aging Research, the regular intake of leafy green vegetables is associated with greater muscle resilience and a lower risk of falls in the elderly. And that's not all. These vegetables also protect memory and the heart, pillars of longevity. Spinach is almost a natural, cheap, and accessible multivitamin. But for some reason, it is still not treated as such. That some reason has a name: misinformation. We grew up hearing that muscle is built with meat and supplements. But what modern science on healthy aging reveals is that muscle understands nutrients, not labels. And, in this scenario, spinach is one of the most complete foods for anyone who wants to maintain strength even after 60. Now comes one of the most fascinating discoveries from my clinical practice. It's not enough to eat spinach. You need to know how to cook it properly. What transforms this leaf into medicine is not just its nutritional content, but the way you prepare it. And this is where a strange but vital name comes in: oxalic acid. Oxalic acid acts as a kind of invisible shield in raw leaves, preventing the body from absorbing precious minerals. When we steam spinach or sauté it quickly, this shield is broken. The result? The iron, magnesium, and potassium become up to 3 times more bioavailable, meaning they are easier for the muscles to use. It looks like magic, but it's biochemistry. Poorly cooked spinach may be nutritious on paper, but ineffective in practice. Well-prepared spinach, however, acts as a natural injection of cellular energy. I have seen patients who, after adjusting only the preparation method, reported improved sleep, strength, and even reduced nighttime cramps. This is disease prevention in its most practical form. This simple change in the kitchen can represent the watershed moment between continuing to be weak or recovering health in old age with autonomy. I always say, It's not just what you eat, it's how you cook what you eat. And believe me, when the patient learns this, they start looking at the frying pan as if looking at a longevity laboratory. If there is one combination that borders on magic, it is spinach with vitamin C. It seems too simple, but this duo transforms your dish into a true treatment for disease prevention and muscle regeneration. Science has already proven it. The absorption of vegetable iron can increase up to 4x when combined with foods rich in vitamin C. It works like this. Vitamin C acts as a key that unlocks the iron present in spinach, making it more bioavailable. In other words, your body can use this iron more efficiently to oxygenate the muscles and avoid that fatigue that diminishes well-being in old age. A handful of strawberries, a slice of kiwi, or a glass of orange juice for breakfast can be more effective than many pills. In practice, I usually recommend to my patients, try starting the day with cooked spinach, Greek yogurt, and red fruits. It sounds sophisticated, but it is accessible and extremely functional. This type of meal improves digestion, helps with muscle mass formation, and also protects the heart. 3 pillars of healthy aging. This is the kind of teaching that, once discovered, becomes a life habit. And that's where the true resilience of the mature body begins, in small but consistent gestures. Eating well is more than avoiding what is harmful. It is activating what heals us from within. And as living proof of this, there are those who changed everything with just one new dish for breakfast. Carmen was 72 years old and had a garden she loved but could no longer take care of. Climbing stairs was a challenge. Opening a simple jar became a source of frustration. When she came to my office, she carried in her eyes that mixture of tiredness and resignation that so many seniors silently bear. After the consultation, I made a simple proposal. Switch her breakfast to a dish with cooked spinach, natural Greek yogurt, and red fruits. No supplements, no magic formulas. She doubted it. She laughed and said, "Doctor, that sounds like cartoon food." I replied, "It looks like it, but it's longevity on a plate." 15 days later, she returned. She walked lightly, smiling with her eyes. She said she was climbing the stairs without support and had managed to open the jam jar by herself. A small gesture, but one that meant freedom to her. Her exams showed a 12% increase in muscle mass and improvement in iron and magnesium levels. "Doctor, I started believing I could get better again," she told me, holding the exam results with firm hands. That phrase echoed in me. What changed her story was not an expensive medicine. It was a life habit, repeated with faith. And it is precisely for this reason that, in the next step, I will show you how to apply this knowledge to your own daily life. It's time to transform theory into practice, and it all starts in the kitchen. You don't need to be a chef or have expensive ingredients, just intention. Spinach, when well prepared, can be part of breakfast, lunch, and even dinner, with real results for health in old age. In the morning, I recommend 2 tablespoons of cooked spinach, unsweetened Greek yogurt, and a handful of red fruits. It is a functional combination: protein, calcium, iron, and vitamin C in the same dish, stimulating muscles and protecting the heart. It is simple, tasty, and promotes well-being from the first hour of the day. For lunch, prepare a warm salad with spinach, quinoa, and chickpeas. This trio is a nutritional symphony. Complete amino acids, slow-release energy, and essential minerals. Drizzle with extra virgin olive oil, and you have a meal that strengthens muscles and also helps in the prevention of cardiovascular diseases. At night, go for sautéed spinach with salmon and sweet potato. Salmon brings omega-3, which reduces muscle inflammation, while the complex carbohydrate in the tuber provides fuel for nightly regeneration. It is these simple, consistent choices that build metabolic resilience and healthy aging, plate by plate. Now that you understand the power of food, it's time to add simple actions that boost the results. The first, reduce egg consumption to a maximum of 3 or 4 per week. Your body will appreciate the cholesterol relief and your muscles won't lose anything because of it. Second action, Hydrate, even if you are not thirsty. In old age, the body loses the sensitivity to detect dehydration. And believe me, lack of water is one of the most common causes of fatigue, cramps, dizziness, and mental confusion in seniors. A glass every 2 hours can do wonders for longevity. Third habit, move every day. You don't need a gym or expensive sneakers. Climbing a flight of stairs, stretching your arms when you wake up, or walking around the block already activates circulation and wakes up the body. The muscle that doesn't move atrophies, but the one that is used responds. Movement is life, and this is true at any age. These 3 actions, combined with intelligent eating, form the tripod of muscular and metabolic disease prevention. And most importantly, they return to the body the feeling that it is still capable. But before ending, I want to remind you of something that goes beyond science. Because deep down, recovering strength is also a matter of believing. Sometimes what is lacking is not information. It is believing that there is still time. True longevity begins when we change the way we see ourselves, not as someone old and limited, but as someone who can learn, improve, and live with purpose, even at 70, 80, or 90. I have seen women who thought life was over go back to walking alone, cooking for their grandchildren, feeling the wind on their face with joy, and all because they made a simple, firm, and daily decision. As Carmen once told me, "More than the plate, it was my decision to change that saved me." Health in old age is not just about good exams. It is made of hope, consistency, conscious choices. Every glass of water, every leaf of spinach, every step taken on the sidewalk counts as a vote in favor of one's own life. And every vote like that strengthens not only the muscles, but self-esteem and the sense of autonomy. That is why I insist. Do not underestimate the small gestures. Don't compare yourself. Don't give up. Science shows us the way, but it is the heart that chooses whether to follow it. And if you've made it this far, maybe it's time to stop just existing and start living with intentionality, with joy, and with renewed faith in your own body. And now tell me, have you made any of the mistakes I revealed here today? Have you tried to regain your strength with methods that didn't work? Share your experience in the comments here. I read them all and can even reply with exclusive tips. Subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell, because that ensures you won't miss the next videos, with new content for those who want to live longer, with health and autonomy. And look, the next video that appears here on the screen might be exactly what you need to see now. Enjoy. I'll see you there. A big hug, and until next time.